Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you've come by this video via knowing me from anywhere else on the internet, from like my TikTok or Facebook or Instagram or wherever, g'day and how you going? If you are new and you're here because you want to know how to fit a ratchet shifter into a BA Falcon and make it work, g'day and how you going? But yeah, that's what I'm doing today. I've been wanting to post a bit more on my YouTube and do a bit more of the whole YouTube scenario, but it turns out this whole social media thing is really hard. It started out being easy, and then now it's not easy. It's hard. So anyway, I'm making a video for YouTube. I'm going to fit a ratchet shifter into my Falcon Ute, into my BA. I can't find anywhere online where or how or if anyone else has done it to put a ratchet shifter into a BA, but I am going to work it out for myself and do it. You can watch me, and when it's finished you can either take from it what you will or not. If you don't like it, that's okay, but this isn't a how-to. This is just a reference or an idea or whatever. You can just watch me do it and you can take from it what you will if you're playing at home. If you're just watching me for fun, well, that's okay too. Here we go, let's get into it. Let's go fit a bloody ratchet shifter.
Alright, so I don't know how to put like music over a YouTube video for a hectic intro, but here we go. Here's just some stuff that I do with my car. And then here's another car that I make some stuff with, and there's an effect over it, and here we go, let's get into it.
Right, so first order of business, I've got to remove the current Tiptronic scenario we got going on here for the box that's in it as it is, because it's all currently standard Falcon stuff. So we'll pull that out and it will reveal a horribly cut hole. I wonder who cut that. Yeah, anyway, that was a big day, but we've got to cover that up. Luckily I have here with me in my hot little hand this thing. So out the back of my workshop I have a column shift auto ute. Now all the Falcon utes have the hole in there for the Tiptronic thing, because these don't just bolt in. They actually got to cut a hole in that drop box, and it's horrible. But yeah, so I had to pull that off. That door's shut. Yeah, so I had to cut a big hole to make that fit. This car was also a factory manual AU Falcon, so there was already a big hole there, and then to make that fit I had to cut even more of a bigger hole. But now that I'm going to fit this B&M shifter back into it, because it was in there once before, I've got to make this work somehow. Where are we? Right there. So these two riv nuts, from my experience, riv nuts have always been fine to bolt a ratchet shifter into. You probably want to use steel ones. These are aluminium, so I might change that, I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to put that in there, mount it up here where it used to be, and then so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bolt it up there, trim the edges off this bloody plate, and mount it all how it should be. I might have to change it because that's going to be in the road there, isn't it? But yes, that's where we're at anyway. So watch me do that. Alright, so I've got to sort of how I want it. It's not quite how I want it. I've had to drill that hole out, take that stud out by bloody force. Yeah, I've had to trim bits and stuff here, and then yeah, I'm gonna have to space up underneath this shifter a little bit, but it should be okay. So now I've just got to put a riv nut in here. I'm gonna have to nut and bolt this, but I did try to get a riv nut in there to act as a rivet and like clamp both of them together. If you don't know what I'm talking about, this is a riv nut, or a nutsert, or whatever you like to call it. You put it in and you have a special gun. There's a thread in here, you wind it in there and then you squeeze it and it acts like a rivet, and this all squeezes up. So yeah, that wouldn't work like how I wanted it to. So now I'll just put a nut in a bolt and I'll get someone to tighten it up from underneath. But this isn't my best work, and it was never meant to be. But I'm not too impressed with it. But it'll do. It will work. It's only a burnout car. It's only going to catch on fire or bloody crash or something anyway. Right, so I thought I'd take a quick minute to show you a riv nut in action. So that's me bit. And if you look up here, you will see that, I know I shouldn't clamp on the bolts, but I did. It was only light. That's me hole. So no thread in there now. I'll plug that in there like that. I like to do it in between something like the vise so I can get a bit of pressure on it. There you go. She acted like a bloody rivet there, if you can see it. It's all squeezed up and she's tight. Yeah, I'll do that. It's the best way I can hook up the camera there. Where am I? Where's me work gone? Where's my, there it is. So yeah, there you go, in there, me butchered hole. Boom. Like that. And then I'll bolt her in. It's going to be sick. Good. So we've got, if you can watch here, we've got a 7 position, hang on, a 7 position T-bar auto is what is needed for my bloody thing I had here. Look, the shift kit, that's here. I've got to patch it in shortly, but I still got to work out my scenario with the cable and stuff. So now I'll show you what I did about the cable and hooking it up, because that's actually the hard part. Mounting this is nothing. The hard part is trying to get a cable to work underneath, because no one actually makes a kit like these brackets and stuff. No one actually makes a kit to fit them to a BTR in a BA, but sort of they do. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Alright, so now that we're under the car, you'll see if my camera will focus, that bracket there is not standard, and neither is that one, if the camera will focus. But so these are actually, I got them from a shop online called Mr. BTR. If you look him up on Facebook, I'm not sponsored by him, but I had to bloody get these bits off him. He's the only bloke I can find, or anyone that I can find, that actually makes brackets for these BTRs. Now this kit is actually for like EA to AU gearboxes, because the selector and inhibitor switch and everything is on the driver's side of the gearbox in those models, whereas in a BA they're on the other side, which I'll show you that just quickly. That's the inhibitor switch and stuff there. Focus, yeah, so that's our inhibitor switch and selector and everything. So you used to have a shaft on that with the linkage and everything, and then the bloody bracket would bolt up there. I tried to make it fit on this side because I just thought it would be easier, but that bolt pattern you see on the bell housing there is different to the one on this side. So yeah, anyway, so I made that fit, and then this bit here, for anyone that's interested, on an EA to AU gearbox, that will just all go on. This particular gearbox, as I showed, because the selector's on the other side from factory, I've had to get a bit creative here, and what I did is I bent this bracket a little bit more, which hopefully it'll still work. I'll be able to make up the difference in adjustment. The amount I had to bend it, which wasn't much, I only had to make it not hit that bit in there, which it still sort of does. I still got to work on it, But I had to also tap or get a die and tap a thread onto that end of the selector shaft, because still got the right shape to be driven, but I had to actually tap a thread onto that. So if anyone is ever gonna do that, as I said, this isn't a how-to. This is just what I've done. Be careful tapping it that you don't break the selector shaft itself. You've got to be real careful about it, because it will break, because you've got to put a bit of pressure on it to die it. But anyway, that's how I did it, and now I shall continue hooking the rest of it up. Alright, so I'll put this cable in now, and to do that I've got to dismantle it all. I wish I had the hoist to do this on, but it is what it is. So apparently this adjustment's meant to be in the smack bang middle, but now that I've had to bugger eyes around with that, I'm not sure if that's going to be the case or not. So I'll have to properly adjust it later. Where's my bloody spanner gone? But just to get a guide on where we're at, an idea of how we're going with this whole scenario, I'll tighten her up, a little floppy, and then I've got to wind, put this bit over there for some unknown reason, and this bit onto there. I'll tell you what, this whole YouTube thing's working out to be pretty hard, hey? Bloody hell. I've got to have like proper content and stuff. I feel like I talk too much. And that's my lock nut for this bit. Now, I don't know where this bit's meant to be. Go flush with the thread. I have to bend it a little bit, I think. Oh, get off. This is all just trial and error. So I'm going to bend it that way a little bit. I think what the problem is here is that because this selector is usually, this long or whatever, comes out with the switch and that on it, this is going to be a pain. Almost there. I don't like the looks of that, but much I can do about it, but we're getting there. Now I've had to take a bit out of it because when it's in park it won't go quite into park because it hits here. So I'll put it back together and see what happens. I'm getting over it. Alright, I think we're good, boys and girls. Playing along at home. And this bit's also scary because you've got the chance to break your friggin' shaft now too. So I like to do it up a little bit and then boom. So upstairs, very good. Upstairs I've got it in neutral. Now that's, I want to get this down a bit. I'll have to adjust it here. So we'll do. You dickhead. So we've got park, reverse, no we don't. Park, reverse, neutral, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that should be it.
Yes, it is. That's a bit loose on there. I'll have to fix that. But park, reverse, neutral. I've no idea which hole to use. Like up here, this one or this one, or the one in the middle. I was going to go ahead and assume it was the one that's red. It's got red paint in there, so I assume that's it. But I could be wrong. Now where's my split pin? There she is. Never reuse split pins, folks. There you go. She's in.
So there you have it. That is how you fit a ratchet shifter into a BA Falcon. Yeah, so you can buy those brackets and stuff that I use for the underneath for the gearbox and selector and that off Mr. BTR online on Facebook. I have to use a manual controller for the gearbox too. That's why I put the ratchet shifter in it. I was going to do a video on that, but that turned out to be too freaking hard to film in that under the car. Anyway, there you have it, and that's your ratchet shifter. Thank you for watching. I'm going to put up here like other places you can find me on the internet and that, if you're interested in what I do, some other places. But yeah, nonetheless, that's this video out. Goodbye.